do you know, one thing that's really come to me is about addiction. Like I have spent, that happened when I was, about 15, for about 10 years. And I realised it was only last year when my awakening began that it came to me that one version of me, as you say, that I couldn't get my head around, and I couldn't understand. Okay, how would that ever help anyone else? And it came to me, it was a form of addiction, and it was only then that I realised, because it's not a spoken addiction massively, but it's still a form of addiction. I never classed it as that, but I still, throughout my life, carried the shame, the guilt, not feeling good enough with me throughout every area of my life. It impacted me. But it's really weird because I didn't identify myself as that. I just had the guilt and the shame and everything else. And it came so clearly today that so many people with addiction, and it can affect every area, but addiction, we, like addicts in recovery and that are going through recovery and going through it, they somehow feel, and we've been taught that this is how it is, that is who we are, that being an addict is part of our identity. And it's such a deluded way of looking at it, because it's not who we are. It was an experience that our soul chose to experience here. For whatever reason, our soul chose to have that. For whatever lesson, it was part of our soul's journey, our soul's purpose and story to have here on this human experience right now. And it's like, when you really truly think about it, like it really limits us. When you stand there and you're like, well, no, I can't do that because I'm an addict, or I can't do this because of that. And it stops us and limits us from actually fully living our life, even when we've overcome it and we've got past and we've been able to get on the road to recovery. We still have that at the back of our minds, like that is who we are, that's part of us, that's what makes me, which is it's not true. At the minute, and this is where I know, you obviously have to get to a certain part in your recovery, on that recovery journey, to be able to start doing the healing. But I realised that I had done none of that. It was only since my awakening that I had to face all of it. And I really started healing myself from the inside out. And it's realising and having it, that getting people to that point where you actually, I 100% believe, without all certainty, that no one has an addiction without some sort of an experience and trauma that has got you to lead you to seek outside of yourself for you to be able to cope with life. And it's actually getting to that point in your journey where you can actually start healing yourself from the inside out, and actually getting to the root cause and the reason, what trauma, what experience, what trigger was it that got you to seek outside of yourself, for you to be able to feel that you needed that to be able to cope with life. The minute that you can start actually healing that and healing yourself from the inside out, I'm telling you 100%, you will free yourself from that identity, from that experience from you. That yes, you experienced being an addict, but being an addict isn't your identity. It doesn't make you who you are. It was part of your journey, it was part of your story and an experience your soul chose to have here in this human experience. For whatever lesson, for part of your soul's mission, for part of your soul's purpose. And it's just, honest to God, it will free you, and it's just here. And it's so sad, because even when people are on the road to recovery, they still go back and they still have that identity. Well, no, I can't do that because I'm an addict. And you limit yourself. But the minute you start healing, and I'm not only saying this because I've experienced this myself, like I have freed myself from so many triggers and past versions of me that I built around that was my identity, that was who I am, that's what made me me. There were experiences and things that I chose to experience here as a soul, so that I can evolve and I can, it's part of my story, it's part of my journey here in this human experience. And oh my God, that the minute we start freeing ourselves and actually doing the inner healing from the inside out, you will free yourself from that. And you will get to that point where you don't identify yourself as those experiences. That is literally simply part of your journey here. It didn't make you who you are. It was a journey, it was a part of your story for you to be able to overcome it and to be the person you were always meant to be. And that's really powerful. Yeah, that's my little piece of, my little nugget for today that really came to me. I thought, my God, how can we limit ourselves and stop ourselves from doing so much because of that experience? It holds so much power over us that the minute we realise that it was simply an experience and not who we actually are, that power and that control that it had over us, it will dissolve around you, I promise you. Well, I hope you're all having a good day. It's so hot. Bye.